crowds are thinning out. Practice number 12, and spring ball must not be very interesting. And I agree with you. I'll answer your questions. Yeah, I try to say, and it is the same as it is the beginning of the spring practice, day to day. Get Braxton healthy, get JT as many reps as you can with limited because of his foot, and then Cardell as many practice reps as you can. I'm not even there yet as far as I don't know who our quarterback's going to be. You know, and so for me to start saying to keep this guy healthy, keep that guy healthy, I don't know if Braxton, you know, he had double labrum surgery, so I like exactly where we need to be. I mean, that's at the end of spring practice. I was hoping we'd get JT Barrett 1 million reps, probably more than I thought we'd get him. Cardell didn't have a particularly great day today, but he's had a good spring, and we're getting him as many reps as he can. And then Braxton's, you know, getting healthy, and he's getting a lot of mental reps. But how we'll manage a game or manage the sideline, those are August 15th type questions.
Is there I just meant for the spring game.
Spring game, Cardell will go and Steven will go. JT can't go.
So when you say that JT a couple weeks ago had progressed maybe more than you thought, what have you seen through the spring that you didn't expect that you'd be able to?
Just as many reps. You know that our trainers did a good job, and I know we want to be very cautious with them. But we practice better this year than we have in the past. I think Larry Johnson does a good job, and that guys aren't flopping around. And you know, there's winner loser days where you are going to do whatever you got to do, but then there's a day to pull up right before something stupid happens. And we monitor that real close. And we actually got JT Barrett in a couple 2-minute situations because our guys know how to practice a little better. That was you know, you handle that situation because if you re-injure it, he's done for the year.
Back row right, Blake.
I guess the same. Has the timetable changed for Braxton? Is it still May or June?
Yeah.
What have you been told about his availability?
I've been told rehab's going good. The only person I really trust in this is I think medical guys, and they have jobs to do, but the player knows. And I've known Braxton for a long time, and almost every day, how's it going? Talk to me, you know, and he says it's going very well. Trainers, of course, you know, they're not going to, hey, how's it going? That's awful. They're not going to say that. So I asked the player, and hopefully he's mature enough in our relationships enough that it's not going good, it's going great, it's going good, you know. And the fact that we get it rechecked down with Dr. Andrews' staff, I think it's 3 times already. We're pretty pleased with what's going on.
Put a date on it.
I can't. I have not been given a date.
Second row left, Ari.
Hey, Coach. Michigan and Penn State have utilized satellite camps in the summer. What do you think of that? And have you ever given any thought to doing that yourself?
Sure. I think we're thinking of doing one. I can't tell you if it's been finalized. Am I a fan of that? Not really. You know, a big allure to Ohio State is getting them here on campus. I'm not quite, you know, I think what happens is monkey see, monkey do. They did this, so let's go do it. I think there's easy ways to evaluate how'd your camp go. Well, it went good. Did you get anybody out of that camp? No. Did people visit? And I don't know that. That's something, if we do it, we're not going to do it because some other schools are trying it. If our staff, who has much more information than I do because they're in the trenches, I'm really not anymore because you're not allowed to go out recruiting until next December. If it helps us, we'll do it. And I think we might try one this year. I don't know if it's been finalized. You'll certainly hear about it if we do.
Have you given any thought of like what areas you might want to think about doing it in? Is it like because you guys have had success everywhere, so I think part of the way that they're doing it is try to, you know, expand their brand a little bit. You guys have had success everywhere. Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of conversation, but once again, you'll know if we do it. There's a lot of conversation in our recruiting meetings every Wednesday about making a move and trying one. I hope the NCAA puts what do, you know, that I think that should be outlawed. We shouldn't be allowed to do that. I think you just recruit on campus and do a good job. And
one other thing, when you first got here, I think one of your biggest concerns about your roster was the skill positions. Now that you've signed 3 or 4 classes, it looks like you guys are moving some guys around to make people fit, not because you need to do that. Is this kind of where you envisioned your skill position players would be from the
Yeah, I want to
get-go?
make that clear that I hope I never came across and say, well, I didn't like our players or start blaming coaches, and I've started hearing that kind of stuff, and we never done that. This offense was a little different, systematic, excellent offense, more of an I formation type mentality, and so what our coaching staff and what they were instructed to do is take what we have, do the best we can, and that's why the offense looks so different in 2012 than it does now. So we had to go get more people that fit that type of system that we wanted to be spread the field horizontally too, and that's the Jalen Marshall, Dontre Wilson, Curtis Samuel type player. And we're still looking for more, because that's a big part of. You look at our success last year. Even the inside run game to Zeke was created by the threat of the outside. Does that make sense to you? If not, you're going to defend the box. If you defend the box with Jalen and Dontre and some of those cats out there, better, So there's a nice match. And right now, to answer your question, I kind of like our skill set. We just got to keep going, because we're going to start losing some guys.
Front row right. Tim?
Yeah, Urban, a couple things. Number one, who is a player that you've got, 4 practices left in spring? Who is a player who clearly has made a huge jump in these 11 practices?
On offense, you got Curtis Samuel and Noah Spence. Big jump. Chase Ferris is managing very well at the right tackle spot. Briante Dunn is a guy I keep using the term momentum. He's got it. He had a good day today. And I just see some good things happening with him. That's on offense. On defense, I think Sam Hubbard. What did I say?
You said Spence.
Oh, Noah Brown, yeah. Noah Brown's had a very good spring. On defense, Sam Hubbard, I know Von Bell played very well at the end, but he's picked it up and taken it to a new level of practice. Eli Apple, very pleased with Raekwon McMillan, so I can go on, but that's a lot of good stuff going on.
And the other thing, the thing came out about Jamel Dean last week and stuff. The way I understand it, you guys knew way back in January that he was not going to be able to play in your system, and y'all were trying to basically can stay on a hardship medical waiver if he wants to here
Sure.
and stuff. What can you tell us just about that situation to maybe set the record straight or whatever?
Yeah, I was just disappointed because there was constant communication with both schools, and I think since it's been cleared up. Ohio State was absolutely forthright in everything they did. We were crushed when we found out he was DQ'd, but we didn't. We're not allowed to really come out publicly and say, and I don't do that. If we're trying to help the young guy out, we're giving him a $250,000 scholarship to stay on at Ohio State for 4 years and graduate. And I was shocked, to be honest with you. I was like, what? I'm not sure where that came from, because we've done right by Jamel, and it has nothing. Someone says something about numbers, and I'm like, well, I'm not sure what that had. That was January 12th or something, when he was told by our doctors. And the one thing that every head coach it's made perfectly clear that the minute you question a doctor, you're probably unemployed. This isn't the old days where the coach kind of nudges the trainer and says, get him in there. Doctor come in and says he's DQ, we move on and do the best we can to make sure he can get a free education, that we're supporting him, and that's what our guys did. Coach Hinton and Mark Pantoni did a fabulous job looking out for that young man. If he's cleared to play somewhere else, once again, that's, I'm not sure. Once again, this isn't 10 years ago where I've heard stories where coaches would say, well, no, he's going to be okay. Armani Reeves was DQ'd because of a concussion issue. I love Armani Reeves. Our job now is to make sure he's set for life after football, which is something we take very serious around here. Same with Devin Bogart. He's working on our weight room now, and we're going to make sure we take care of him until he graduates. Who else we have? Ron Tanner. Those are all guys that's one thing about Gene Smith and administration now, and there's zero question. When a young man, it's a tough sport. When something happens, we get the 100% support of at the athletic department. That's why once this all came up, I went through A to Z, and our guys not only did good, they did great. Our support staff, our coaching staff, he sat in Real Life Wednesdays. He got all the medical treatment, was rehabbing, and so I grade us an A+ on how our support staff and assistant coaches handled that situation.
Front row, Bill.
Urban, there are at least 5 positions where there's competition, no incumbent really: defensive end, defensive tackle, cornerback, wide receiver, right tackle. How much of those cleared up?
Right tackle's cleared up. Chase Ferris will start if he continues to progress at right tackle. Defensive line, Tommy Shutt has got the lead spot. Joe Hale was right in the middle of that thing too before he got hurt. You guys are, no, he has a calf tear, so he'll be out about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, but he'll be fine. What was the other position?
Defensive end, cornerback.
Defensive end, Taekwon has an he's also had an injury now. He's out for about 4 weeks. He has what does he have? He has an impingement in his shoulder, I believe, and he'll be fine. Wide receiver Noah Brown's kind of solidified. If he just takes care of a little more business in the classroom, then I was going to announce him as one of the starting 3 or 4. But guys are, and this is, we make the, a lot of guys get the mentality, well, I'm going to go win the spot in August, and the spot in August is already done, and we're trying to go win a football game. Things happen in August, but that's not the time to go get the spot.
You mentioned Tommy Shutt.
Had a good spring, his best spring since he's been here. He's cut weight. He has done a very nice job. As of right now, he'd be him and Adolphus starting inside. As of now, I'm not ready to say he's the guy yet.
Excuse me, front row left, Doug.
Urban, have you ever talked with any other coaches about winning after winning, whether it's Bill Belichick or somebody else, about trying to do what you did at Florida, what you're trying to do now, which is
the guy I did was Billy Donovan years ago. I think I've been through it a few times now, so I think we just draw upon our own research. I might do that this summer, and that's a good idea. Good. I usually do that, just not now because we're knee deep in spring practice. Those are the things that usually you start thinking through in the month of May when you have a little time to reflect a little bit and find out where we're at as a team.
And when Lou Holtz was in town the other week, he said that when he was at practice, he thought that you were just sort of, I think the word he used was at peace about with sort of how everything's working here.
At peace?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think him saying that.
Yeah, he said there was a tranquility almost, that that what you are doing here, you have proof that it worked, and you knew it worked at Florida. Now you know it worked here. Do you do you know what he's saying, or do you understand?
I think so. I think and we did talk about that briefly for a little while, or briefly, but that was when you step at a place that you've never been before, that's when you start reaching out all the time. How do I get through this? How do I get through this? Now that we've done it a few times, one thing I've been fortunate to be around it. I've learned lessons like we all do along the journey, and the biggest things are the culture is so clear we can't change a culture. And there's always things, it's always, and I use this analogy with our players that, you got momentum, that freight train's running down the track pretty fast. What slows it down? Resistance, speed bumps along the way. If you just keep pushing and keep pushing, it's going to get faster and faster. And what we can't have is resistance, and we can't have speed bumps. And that includes coaching transitions where all of a sudden, you're not 9 units strong. So the culture is very clear. And now it's just to make sure, and our coaches are doing a very good job, our players are. We're not perfect, but we don't have to be yet.
And last two, far left, Matt.
Just peeking ahead to Saturday, supposed to be good weather, just how valuable, you always talk about, you want to see guys out in front of the crowd. How valuable is that an evaluation day for you guys?
Well, the thing that spring games give you at a place like Ohio State is a crowd. And a lot of times you'll see a good player that comes out there with no one around and plays well, and then he goes in the crowd and locks up, and that's real. So the best thing that we can do, Darren Lee, how much work does he need in the horseshoe? He's done pretty good. Same with Tyler Decker. I'm going to try to get those guys in. I'm still fighting through that. But the biggest ones, Terry McLaurin, Paris Campbell, Garyon Conley, Cam Burrows, Eric Smith. There's a bunch of guys that are going to play for us. I can't wait to see the reaction. Where I like the way I love the way we do it. We have it like a game atmosphere. We will have 2 teams. There's going to be, I can't say it's going to be pleasant all the time, because you're going to have some young guys in there that aren't quite ready to play yet, but we're going to throw them out there and let them go play in front of a crowd. So that's a built-in advantage that you have here at Ohio State, that there's going to be a nice crowd. And I love looking in the kids' eyes and seeing how they're reacting, because the first time, the freshmen, the first one's going to be on September 7th or September 12th in the horseshoe. Some of these cats' first time is going to be this weekend. Like Nick Connor, I can't wait to see how he reacts in front of a big crowd.
And last question, middle green, Bill.
Oh, yeah. Coach, given what Joey Bose has accomplished his first 2 seasons, what are your goals for him as a junior?
Oh, I think he should be the best D-lineman in America. I think he's got tremendous work ethic. Him and his coach got incredible chemistry right now, the way they're working. He's trying to take his game to the next level, which we all know that's pretty high. I mean, because it was very high at the end of the season. So I think it's very simple, the best in the business. And once again, I always look at the trust and what goes on within the unit. I can't imagine a player and a coach being closer right now than Larry Johnson and Joey Bosa and what's going on right now. Thanks.
Thank you very much.